What's up, my people? Good morning. I'll wait for some people to join. We got one or two people in there. Good morning, people. Okay, USA. Who knows what movie I'm referencing there? Bloodsport. Oh shit, Bloodsport. Okay, USA. Okay, USA. Oh, the wolf. The owl. Can't see the owl. That's my wolf spirit guide. Morning, Meg. That's the. Look at that tan line. Oh. Good morning, people. Good morning, Jeremy. Last night, if you're in this chat now and you were in the chat last night and didn't get a reading, because we actually went way over an hour, and I had to get some water, and then I was gonna do another stream, but I had to put my daughter to sleep. It was getting late, so I couldn't go back live. So we're gonna probably do the reading stream later this afternoon or tonight. I have to go mail a lot of stuff out today, so after that's all done, hopefully tonight we're gonna get to that as well. So don't worry, you will get your live reading. Let me see who else is there. Thank you everybody for joining us today. We are live, and we had a very interesting discussion last night, so I kept it going. I was gonna originally do only 10 minutes on YouTube and then go to my Patreon and do the rest of the hour there and do like an hour or so there. But it ended up being an exciting chat room. There were people in there like Rex from League Project, Masaki. There was this, it was a pretty cool chat going. So I ended up continuing it, and it ended up going too long. And then my daughter was getting restless, so we had to try to put her to sleep. So tonight we're probably going to get to that. But it was really an awesome show last night. We got a lot talked about, and I think it really has to do, it's very important topics. And right here at Exploring the Ka, you're getting, in my opinion, you're getting the occult knowledge, you're getting ancient wisdom, ancient knowledge, ancient history broken down in a way that is new and exciting and not like anywhere else out there. And it's a combination between years of research and psychic visions that come to you while you're doing this research, at least while I'm doing this research. And it's resulted in being able to break down history in a different way. And we've been told lies, so people have to admit that at least we don't have the right history of who we are, what's happened on this planet. In fact, we don't even know, let alone what really happened in the last few hundred years, let alone the last thousands of years, right? So there's got to be a way to tap into the truth, and that's what we're digging for. I'm not saying everything here is 100% accurate, but you're getting ancient knowledge broken down, ancient activities broken down in a different way. And a lot of it we were talking about last night, and I think it has to do with what's transpiring on the planet right now. What is transpiring on the planet is a battle between soul, spirit, and technology. And it's up to us to tap into the true harmonic frequencies of who we are, and not the negative technologies, the negative frequencies, the ones that control us. And I mean, we have so much ancient history that we need to take a look at again. I mean, look at ancient Egypt and the Levant and Sumeria and all these places. Very similar, even though the goddesses' names change, but their technologies and what's going on is very interesting. And you know, even in my show on Saturday night on Truth Frequency Radio, I brought it up, how the new Bill and Ted movie, you know, even though it's like a fun sort of movie that most people don't take serious, it's got some real messages in there. Like, time is basically folding in on itself, and they have to use music to heal the world and basically make a harmonious balance and bring people to a higher harmonic frequency by uniting, you know. So I think that was pretty, I mean, even though it's sort of like a fun movie, I think it's got some serious messages in there for sure. And they have to, like, literally write a song that unites everybody at a specific time and place, a specific place in space-time, to save time from folding in on itself, right? And I think that's very interesting, because I at a young age, I definitely knew I can unite people through music, and that it's possible for humans to unite people through music. And I talked about it the other night on my show. Like, even when I was a kid, in 1985 around, when We Are the World came out, it was like a huge song where all these different artists got together. And you know, I'm like seven or 8 years old at the time, and something changed in me with that song as well. You know, it's like all different races getting together, all different backgrounds getting together, and they're uniting. And for that moment, there's no differences. Like, the music just sets them free, right? And there's no restrictions. I mean, of course, I guarantee you there's some people in the crowd that were out of that group of people that were there, that were singing that day. I'm sure there were some people worried about their performance, self-conscious maybe even about how they would do. But for the majority of people watching and performing, it's just like there's no even though there might be human reservations, there's a unity through the music regardless. And it's like everybody's everybody's the same sort of human. Everything's balanced in a way, and it's the music that's doing it. And music can change you. Music's one of those things, you know, just even anybody that achieves greatness, or you watch somebody overcome something, or if you watch somebody perform something amazing, it could give you that chills. It can change who you are. It can change the way you are. It can make you a better person for having has witnessed that and saw the other person achieve that. It can change you, and it could elevate you in ways. And it elevates your spirit. It elevates your higher dimension connection, like, for sure. It makes you a higher person. It makes you a higher being, and it changes who you are when you experience intense things. You know, sometimes it only changes people for a little bit of time. Sometimes it changes you for life. You know, sometimes people go through something, and for a while, it changes the way they act during the day, from day to day. And then life sort of starts to kick in again, and they sort of recede a little bit. It's like they sort of forget, and things go back to normal sometimes. But sometimes things change. Like, like, you know, what happened, I'm not going to go through the whole story, but I talked about it on my show Saturday. What happened to me in the Cesar Chavez Park in Long Beach. It was more like a, you know, a missing time event too. But what happened during it, I was shown visions of horrific apocalyptic type events if we don't heal the world. Like if we don't unite as one, and we don't find a balance within humanity, that we're just going to rip each other to shreds. And I saw that, and it was such a horrific scene that for months after that event, I couldn't even exaggerate. I was like calling people that I thought I lied to in the past, you know, and apologizing to them. My day-to-day decisions, every choice I made during the day was different because of what I saw. It's like, oh my God, you got to be nice to everybody. You got to do, like, I literally was like a maniac about that for a while. And then of course life starts to take control of itself and come back together, and you sort of, you know, go back to normal a little bit. So that's an example of that. But like, I was changed for months, like months and months. Like I was like thinking like a Buddhist monk in a way. Like, you know, like everything I did, like I didn't want to make humanity any worse than it was by my actions, you know. That's kind of like the vibe that it made me feel for a long period of time, like intense, you know. So I do feel that that's part of our past and part of who we are and part of what transpired. I mean, look at first the ancient Egyptian goddess, and we have the goddess energy rising right now. It's rising within humanity. This is what's rising. It's been slumbering, and now it's on the rise again. It's a cosmic invocation. It's a cosmic force, and there's different aspects of that energy. And I do feel it has to do with what's inside of humanity. I mean, look at ancient Egypt first, right? Ancient Egypt has what they call the Sekhem technology, right? This is a spiritual technology, a spiritual might. It literally means Sekhem, S-E-K-H-E-M. It literally means like spiritual power, spiritual might, spiritual technology. This is where the Sekhmet name for the goddess Sekhmet derives from. And this is an interesting technology, even Sekhmet in general, right? Sekhmet was also known as the Eye of Ra. And when people hear that, of course, they associate it with even the tattoo I have, the symbol of the Eye of Ra, right? But no, there's another Eye of Ra, and it's still associated with that symbol, but it's like out of that symbol activates a fierce lioness that can destroy all of humanity if it doesn't stop. It's like a technology that activates that, just a storm building, literally lapping up the blood of man. That's what they talk about in the ancient Egyptian stories of the goddess Sekhmet and all of that. They talk about literally how she was the Eye of Ra. She became the Eye of Ra, and was destroying all of humanity. And she became a huge giant. They describe it as her becoming a huge giant lioness and becoming like a storm and lapping up the blood, drinking the blood of mankind. And she got so fierce and drunk with the blood that she just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and killing more and more. And she was going to destroy the whole world and put an extinction on population. So the supreme god Ra stepped in, and blood that she was lapping up, he slipped like beer and pomegranate juice in there, so she fell asleep. It put her to sleep. And then when she woke up, the rage had subsided, and she stopped destroying humanity. But she was on a continuing, she was literally draining the blood of all of humanity. Now she also has another side to her. The reason why she was sent as the Eye of Ra to destroy humanity in that story, was because humanity had become disgusting, corrupt, unloyal, you know, debauchery, and the gods were done with it, you know, and they were sent to destroy humanity basically and teach humanity a lesson because they weren't respecting the gods and they weren't respecting each other. Basically, that was the story, right? So Ra had sent the Eye of Ra, and that's basically the other side of Hathor, the goddess Hathor, his wife. It's the, you know, she's she's actually a tetrad. If when we really go into it, we talked about it last night, but there's the if you want to just say the two sides of the coin of the goddess there, it's the loving side and then the fierce, bloodthirsty war side, right? But she's also got sound healing technology and harmonic resonance technology that can literally heal people and bring them to a higher state of vibration, possibly to a higher body, like a fourth dimension, fifth dimension, and transform them from a cellular level up to light body, right? And it can literally heal the cells in your body with this technology. And it's through different ways, it seems, right? And before we get into that, let's first finish with the Sekhmet fierce side, right? She has also this mysterious headdress. Now, this is what I found, which most people don't, you know, I haven't found other researchers talk about this. And even though they show the pictures featuring it in their books, they seem to leave this part out, that they all seem to feature a technology headdress, right? All these goddesses, whether you have Asherah or you have, like, you know, they're different names from different localities. You got the, you know, the Akkadian region, the Sumerian region, you got, you know, the Egyptian, you know, all these different places where they're named different things. You got, you know, the Mediterranean, all these different, the Levant, all these places are they're named different names, like, and they seem to be like a lineage, right? And there's like Anath and Asherah and Atargatis, and you know, Tanit or Tanit, or Sekhmet. You know, these are all similar goddesses. Inanna, Ishtar, right? These are all very similar, and they seem to all have this mysterious technology headdress. And this headdress can literally tap in and invoke cosmic forces and rain down fire from the sky. Literally. Can literally bring down and rain down fire on the battlefield. It could bring it seems to be some sort of transhumanism type of headset that is connected to the literal DNA and the body and the skin, and it's like harmoniously a harmonious blend between the body and the headdress. It seems to be like part of the body of the goddess, and it seems to be able to be in tune with cosmic forces and invoke cosmic forces and literally change people and heal them, or literally incinerate them in different ways and turn them into dust. It can literally turn them into fire. Harmonic fire. It has frequencies that's coming out of it that can heal the body or literally incinerate the body, just like technologies we are finding about today. And Sekhmet was one of these goddesses that had this mysterious headdress that seems to be like interwoven with her, right? Even the megalithic dolmen that I call this healing chambers of Sekhmet in North Salem, New York, the balanced rock that I've shown, that I've gone to many times and talked about, that's a big part of my research. That rock has a mysterious headdress on it as well, right? And then check this out, in the goddess Inanna, right? Many people have heard of Inanna as well, and a lot of people don't make the connections between Inanna and Sekhmet. I've only heard one or two other people in the past even say this about their connection, but they don't bring up the connection of the headdress. I've never heard people make that connection before but me. Inanna also has this mysterious technology called the melammu. headdress. And this melammu headdress can rain fire down on the battlefield. She's like one of the fire gods, just like Sekhmet, just like Ishtar, all of this. And she can literally, her melammu headdress can literally invoke cosmic forces and rain down fire. And that is some serious information there. And that's not something I don't think can be made up. And you could find it in various translations that go back thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Thousands of years. Inanna is almost the same, or if not related to Sekhmet. And even Inanna, you know, one of her forms is a lioness. One of her forms is being perched on lions or lion thrones. You know, they're all associated with a lion, feline type of aspects to them. You know, even Ishtar, that you see perched on lions with owls at her, flanked on her sides. You know, she has talons like an owl sort of, but she's also perched on lions, and that's one of her aspects. Just like the goddess Tanit. Tanit's from the Mediterranean, from Sardinia to Malta, and she's pictured as a lion-headed humanoid. Usually, you know, they have things in museums. You could find this all on my Patreon with the pictures and everything. So, you know, that's very interesting, and I do think it has to do with harmonic frequencies that can either heal the person or literally turn them to fire. Let me see if people got any questions or anything in the chat room. Your life was changed from a plasmic event. Yeah, I mean, everything is. I think it's mostly like electrons and plasmic energies that we interface with on this realm. You know, I've had some experiences with plasmic orbs that I don't fully understand, and the best I can relate it to, it had to be some sort of like light body intelligence, you know. And if you want to call it a Merkaba or whatever you want to call it, a Merkaba, if that's some sort of like what is described that in the ancient writings, if this is truth, then it is some sort of like spherical, plasmic, higher dimensional being coming into this realm and vibrating so fast that inside of this plasmic orb, you know. Smash that like button, everybody. What's up, Ruben? Ruben was in there last night. Jeremy. You know, what's interesting too is that there's priesthoods that have technologies that are very similar. Even Inanna and Sekhmet, even though they're known as war goddesses, they're also known as healing goddesses, right? But they also are known as having like this enchanting, sweet singing voice that can, you know, lure people to sleep or heal them as well. And the sweet voice, and they're known as like the mistress to the gods, the lady of the heavens. Even the Madonna was said to be like this. I mean, look at even the encounter with the Virgin of Guadalupe with Juan Diego when he's walking up the hill in Tepeyac, right? He's hearing the Virgin Mary with a sweet harmonic bird-like voice, and it lures him into another dimension. It enchants him. Basically, he starts walking up the hill, and then the hill becomes a different hill where it's got flowers on it that don't bloom that time of year. It's like he walked into another realm, just like me at the Cesar Chavez Park. It seems to be he walked into another layer of that environment, another multi-dimensional layer of that world, and he was lured into there by the sweet vibrational harmonic voice that he heard. That's what brought him into that. It changed his body on a cellular level, and he was able to walk between worlds. I mean, that's exactly what I think is happening there. And this is on Tepeyac Hill, right in Mexico City now. You know, this is where he received the very controversial cactus cloth with the Virgin of Guadalupe imprinted on it, almost like it's photographed on there. And I know it's been touched up and things have been added to it over the years, but the original face and body is a mysterious relic. It is from otherworldly. I believe that the eyes and everything, there's something magical with that. And I do think he had an otherworldly experience. But there was an agenda behind it. Literally, this is what Mexico needed to be converted to Catholicism. And literally, because of that event, millions and millions and millions of people converted to Catholicism because of that event. So that was a huge mission to convert the masses, an agenda and a technology, right? They're using technology of the ancients, of Sekhmet, of Inanna. And Inanna had the sweet singing voice of the gods as well. And it seems that this is where that we have shamans and witches and Buddhists and yogis with their mysterious chants. Even witches, right? They have this low muttering chants that seem to invoke forces, mantras, prayers that are chanted in a certain way, Kabbalistic prayers even. This is where it's coming from, the gods. It's coming from the quote-unquote gods, right? Or, you know, the fallen angels, or whatever you want to call them, aliens, right? This is the technology. And it's perfectly described in Inanna and Sekhmet. Perfectly. What's up, Wales? What's up, brother? Shout out to Wales. And you guys can support me here in the chat room every day. We go live. You guys can ask questions. Shout out to people all over the world. Anybody who ordered at my website over this holiday 3-day weekend. Everything's getting shipped out today and tomorrow over the 3-day weekend. I'm pretty much caught up to like September 4th. All the shipments or something, September 3rd or 4th. So it's just these last 3 days that I got to ship out. So everybody's going to get some beautiful stuff. All the orders are ready. They just need to be packaged. Some of them are already packaged too. So we're getting new stock in always too with the crystals. So it's raining over there, buddy. Nice. Yeah. No, I figured I'd go live this morning because last night I wanted to come back and do more after the chat that we did, but I didn't get a chance to, so I figured I'd come in this morning real quick and continue some of the information that I was talking about. You know, and right in the tales of the Hindus, you know, you have all of this as well. These chants, right? Even chants that can destroy the naga, which I posted recently about on my Patreon. Things that are associated with the great epic of the Mahabharata, the great war, the Mahabharata, right? Certain, what they call sarpas, can, through putting offerings into fire, and at the same time doing this mysterious chant, they can literally lure the naga and snakes out of their subterranean homes and out of their abode and lure them into this great pit of fire, right? They're they're like putting offerings in this huge pit of fire, and at the same time doing a mysterious chant, and it literally lures the snakes all over the world out of their home, and they willingly slide into the fire and roast themselves because they're under some sort of enchantment, and it's called the Sarpa Sattra, and it's performed right in the Jaya or the Mahabharata. And there's a certain king who gets killed. He gets bitten by the naga, and in retaliation they have the priest perform the Sarpa Sattra, which is a huge fire ritual where they do this mysterious chant that lures them into the fire. And they were stopped by one of the hybrids, somebody that was part human, part naga. You know, definitely go check out those ancient Hindu legends if you guys never have read that. The Vedas and the Mahabharata, the Bhagavad Gita, all those. You gotta definitely check all that out. Even the aphorisms of a yogi of Patanjali. All those books are amazing. Well, thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Definitely, brother. You know, that's why I said, like, this is one of the only channels out there where, you know, to use the word occult too is, some people think of it as evil, but occult means like ancient hidden wisdom, you know. So occult knowledge getting broken down in a way that everybody can understand, and in a way that's new and combined with telepathic visions that come while I'm researching this information. And I do feel that the melammu headdress of Inanna, the headdress of Sekhmet, the headdress of Asherah that you see, I mean, you can look, go digging, look up even certain figurines that have been found over thousands of years. Clay figurines, different figurines of certain goddesses, like the goddess Asherah, and you're gonna find that there's like these weird headset type devices that are on the goddess. Some of them are conical, some of them are really weird mechanical type looking, you know. And when they were first found and cataloged and put in museums, there was not artificial intelligence and transhumanism to reference to, you know. There wasn't certain things to reference to back then, so they just were chalked up as elaborate jewels and elaborate things of the gods, you know, just as ornaments. Nobody was thinking that it was actually representing some sort of technology that could be making them part machine almost, you know, and even connecting it to the cosmic forces. I do think that the melammu headdress that's described and associated with Inanna can literally bring down meteorites. It could rain down fire from the skies, rocks of fire from the skies. It's even talked about when we look in some of the ancient writings of the Rephaim, where on the battlefield the giants were able to call down fire from Baal, from the sky, and from the gods. And Baal, B-A-A-L or Baal, he is one of the childrens of the goddess Asherah and Anath. Like all of them are the childrens of the goddess Asherah and El, which are the supreme ancient gods of that area, the Canaanites, right? And the Canaanites had children, and their names were Mot, Baal, you know, Anath. And these are all hybrid creatures, hybrid beings, I think, hybrid Nephilim, whatever you want to call them. Oh, thank you so much. Estevan Rodriguez in the house. Edna to you. Yeah, Lucid, Curios. Thank you. Yeah, look that shit up. Beyond the Spectrum. Cool name. Hold on, let me put the light back on my phone because my battery's going low. My light went low. The lightsaber mode came on. Yeah, so we're planned for another live stream at about 6 or 7 p.m. New York time tonight. Damn, 34 degrees already? Great message, Estevan. I love you, brother. Or sister. I think it's a man, though. I can't even see the picture. It's too small for my phone right now. Yeah, I mean, the dark ones and the light battling always. But, you know, be very leery of some of the writings that you see nowadays coming out about the Rephaim and Nephilim. Like the Lost Book of King Og and all of these, the validity has not yet been proven. So be very, even though they are very highly intriguing, amazing writings, they could be the writings of a horror writer, of a horror, science fiction horror writer, you know, that is well versed in ancient Ugaritic workings, and you know, worked with other priests or a group of people that have an agenda for the coming rise and return of these energies that are coming back to the planet. And they could be working, helping prepare for these energies to return, right? So I'm not saying that they're not valid, but I'm saying that be very on guard of some of this material and it coming out now and in the last couple of years. We are at the rise of the goddess energy. And like I said, it's up to us what arises during this. So definitely look out for my show later on tonight. Check me out at themysticalspiral.com, themysticalspiralstore.com, patreon.com/themysticalspiral, and every week on Truth Frequency Radio on Saturday night at tfrlive.com/Eye of Ra. Also right here, Exploring the Ka on YouTube. We're breaking down ancient history in a new way. Spiral out.